A number of crucial issues were discussed during the International Conference of Asian Regional Cooperation on Mega Infrastructure Investment in the ASEAN region amid the current global uncertainties. The main theme for this international conference was the current economic stature of the Asian countries that has shifted dramatically over the past few decades, amassing a huge foreign exchange reserve without much direction on how to use them. One of the major presenters for both days of the conference was the ADB. Let's refer to the ADB's investigations on the potential costs involved with the region's efforts to finance these mega projects. What's the scale of the financing involved of the mega infrastructure projects in ASEAN?
In 2009, ADB and the ADB Institute in Tokyo prepared a study on infrastructure in Asia. It concluded that about $8 trillion in infrastructure spending is required over the next decade. It works about $750 billion per year, so the requirements are huge. Unfortunately, the availability of financing through both public and private sectors is a fraction of this amount, which sort of points to the need to come up with creative mechanisms for financing of infrastructure. That's why we came up with the ASEAN Infrastructure Fund, which we hope will go some way to meeting this need.
Infrastructure development in the ASEAN area could be divided into four major categories. The four divisions are transport, energy, telecommunications, and border town development. Investment in infrastructures of transports aims to increase the efficiency of traveling and logistics, as well as to shift the mode of transport, such as more incorporation of highways linking regions and usage of railways. Finally, the issue of tackling natural disaster destruction had risen in the aftermath of the floods that swept through Laos, Vietnam, and Cambodia, as well as Thailand, which faced its worst floods in more than 5 decades. Flood prevention infrastructures is now a spotlight of mega infrastructure investments. But have we learned enough? Before we dive into the colossal amount of spending involved? Thailand flood, Japanese earthquake, and particularly the flood in Thailand. Have we learned enough yet since the flood to facilitate this kind of large spending for the infrastructure in the future?
The scale of the flood disaster in Thailand was, caught a lot of people by surprise. I think the total cost is about $45 billion in loss, damage, and economic impact. No investment of this magnitude has ever gone forward in Thailand, which is why the authorities are, doing a lot of work right now. There are a lot of meetings, there are a lot of studies going on to wrap their heads around the problem. I believe some action plans and master plans are being put in place rather quickly, and that very soon we'll begin seeing some of these investments translated into projects.
Okay, Mr. Stevenson, so final question. Is it difficult to balance between the investor's confidence priority or the public priority in prevention of the floods?
Well, it's one village, right? I mean, we're all living and working together. And I think in the case of Thailand, where more than 60 of the country's provinces were inundated by floods, it's not, whose priorities should come first. Everyone was affected and everyone has needs. So I think that's part of the problem right now, is trying to address everything at once.
Whether or not the research has bore enough fruit to follow up with a concrete plan, infrastructure development to prevent natural disasters or to facilitate trade will be the road that the region will follow. As a new world economic growth leader will be Asia, and ASEAN must play a big role in this design. Nattakorn reporting for ASEAN TV.